hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What's going on, entertainers? So I'm coming out with another video. So we're talking about two things in this video, a little bit more serious topics than what we usually do. I'm talking about some of people's reactions to the Carmelo Anthony situation, and then also the FSU shooting that recently did happen. Before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what y'all think about this video. All right, first I wanted to get into, guys, is the whole Carmelo Anthony situation and some people's reaction to it, especially Aiden Ross in specific, because I just feel like we as people, we as Black people specifically, have really let a lot of creators really become the biggest culture vultures in every platform that we dominate on, and we let it slide too much. Because in situations where you would think they would understand and would show some grace, it's like the complete opposite. So let's talk about it. They've probably all seen the story, read the story already about Carmelo and Austin. So there's no need to really revive the story. But just to give you guys a summary of it, both of these boys were at a track meet, Austin and Carmelo, and there ended up being an exchange between them under a tent. So there's two witness accounts that I'm going to read about what happened. Who knows if they're truthful or not? There's some people that claim they never knew each other. I don't believe that. I feel like they probably did know of each other, have had probably many of interactions before, and I do believe that's probably why that knife was used, and allegedly, right? So they ended up getting into a fight at this track meet under the tent, and then Carmelo, which is the Black student, ended up stabbing Austin, which is the white student. Both of them are of course, in high school, and then Austin is one of two twins. Okay, now this case is already bringing up a whole lot of race drama in the media between both parties. The Carmelo family has been receiving a lot of hate because they feel as if they're getting let off too easy because of the bond being dropped from 1 million. A lot of people felt like it's like unfair for that to happen. And then let's just get into the two witness statements that did happen, okay? Because both of them, to me, tell two separate stories, if we're going to be honest. So who really knows if these are actually really accurate if you're looking really into the case? Now, the first statement ends up reading this, and this is a high school student that was there at the meet. They said a member of the Memorial High School track team told police he was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-out tent with the rest of the team. The victim and the suspect were sitting nearby. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. The victim had told Anthony he needed to move out under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell the victim, "Touch me and see what happens." No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and the victim proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told the victim to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, the victim grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what was recalled as a black knife and piled the victim and once in the chest, then ran away. The witness did not know Anthony, but knew he was a Centennial student. Second Memorial High School witness, they said police pulled the victim's twin brother and a second Memorial High School track team member into the locker room to take their statements because it was raining heavily by that time. The officer who interviewed them noted that Hunter Metcalf was still hysterical and could not talk. I attempted to ask them both what happened. I could not really get anything out of Hunter, but the second witness stated he wanted to speak. I asked him what happened. He stated they're all sitting under the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent when another male who he did not know walked over and sat under the tent. The witness then said the victim told this male since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. The victim and the black male went back and forth, and then the victim stood up and pushed the male to get him out of his tent. The witness had said at the time of the arguing, the male was reaching around his bag. It was the time the male took out a knife and piled the victim and left. Okay. The arrest report also identifies that 24 other student athletes from various Frisco ISD high schools and 4 other coaches who said they witnessed the fouling. Okay. Now, the problem that I have with this story is that one, it triggered the hell out of my middle school experience. For y'all, I've talked about this in a many times on this channel about how I hated middle school because I was in a magnet program with nothing but white kids and like a few black kids. I would say about like a good 7, maybe 8-ish, who I'm friends with to this day. So this triggered that. And then 2, I just feel like a lot of this situation has to do with entitlement. That's what it all boils down to. What in your, like, regardless if you think the situation and what happened was right, because I don't think he should have stabbed him. The entitlement to me in this situation is crazy because regardless if he was on the team or not, what gives you the right to say he has to go? And this is what happens with a lot of people that are of certain hues is the entitlement is like insane. They feel as if they deserve something and they feel as if they have to have their way because they are this way and it needs to go that way because they said so. And it's like not everybody's just going to abide to it just because you said it. I don't think he should have stabbed him. At the end of the day, people need to understand not everybody reacts the same at all. This is why you cannot mess with anybody that you want to, because not everybody's gonna react the same way that you expect them to. I really do not think that he expected him to pull out the pop out from the bag. Y'all know I can't say the word and do that. I didn't think he expected that, but he wanted to try to see if he would do it, and he ended up doing it, which is sad. The 2 witness accounts to me tell 2 different stories because you have one that's saying that he mentioned that he had something, and then you had another one that said that until they started getting to like really a scuffle, that's when he mentioned he had something in his bag and started to look around with it. So it's like, which one is it? And if the 2 witness accounts are from people from that school, how accurate can those witnesses actually be about what actually really did happen? He did admit to it. He said he did it. He said it was self-defense. He said in the moment that it happened, the moment that they ended up getting him arrested, he admitted to it. He even asked if Austin was okay. Now, social media, since this has went down, has been going crazy. I've been seeing it. I've been getting DMs to cover it. I have been seeing all the reactions to it. And I kind of wanted to stay away from it just because it's like, it triggers the fuck out of me. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I don't think you guys understand, like, as a black person going to, and I'm not saying this is a predominantly white school, whatever. It just reminds me of middle school. And that's what bothers me because at that time, I remember kids like Austin. I remember a kids like a Hunter. They think that it's their way or the highway. We're number one. We're like, get out of our way. You don't belong. You're trash. You're a monkey. Get by. That's all that they think. I'm telling you. I experienced it. Yeah, and you wouldn't know until you experience it yourself. Now, what I did like was the press conference that the mom did make, where she basically talked about Carmelo's upbringing and how they grew up in a 2-parent household, basically telling them like, hey, he grew up correctly. This isn't some freaking gangbanger across the street that, you know, was just hanging around. Like, this is somebody who truly was defending himself, and we didn't even expect this to really happen and go down. Now, Austin's dad was at the press conference. Why? I don't know. I don't know if he was trying to get a reaction out of them. I don't know if he was trying to interrupt the press conference. They did escort his butt up out of there. Now, what I wanted to talk about in this video is Aiden Ross. So he was on a stream and he wanted to give his thoughts on the situation. And he brought up the fact that if you're getting bullied, go tell a teacher or your parents. Don't try to unalive somebody. Before I play the video do you have that same opinion on school shooters? Or you just say, oh, of course, and you just move on? That's why we're going to talk about the FSU shooting.
Oh, I know we don't talk about politics anymore, shit like that, but that shit really pissed me off what's going on in the world right now, bro, with you know who, bro. Track me shit. Bro, I try to bite my tongue nowadays, bro. But like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. How do I not, bro? I have a platform for a reason, bro. I can say what the fuck I want. The fuck you mean who? He killed someone, he's out. Like, how the fuck does that work? Like, bro, he's...
And you have people like George Zimmerman. He killed somebody, he was out. Like, I don't get it. This is what happens, you guys, when we let these motherfuckers in the culture. This motherfucker has had every rapper known to man on his Twitch, and y'all boost these motherfuckers up, and it's really irritating me when I see it because it's not funny to me. Him, countless of other Twitch users. Another one, Neon. Y'all remember when Blueface was like, oh, it's okay that you say the N-word? Like, we got to really stop doing that. It's not okay, and it's not cool, because in moments like this, the support is not there. They laugh. He thinks it's a key. What the fuck is funny about it? But all these people that have done stuff and have got off, it's okay for them though, right?
He's literally like, what? like what? What do you mean stop? I'm dead serious. He's literally, he stabbed him and he's out. Like, bro, what? Like, what? No, I'm dead, bro. I'm dead, bro. I'm not joking, bro. It doesn't make any sense at all. Y'all saying shut the fuck up? I'm dead serious. No, I don't give a fuck if people mad at me, bro. I say what I want, bro. That's what streaming's about. If they gonna ban me for opinion, they gotta ban all the other political streamers on Twitch too. Come on, let's be real here. I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm just being real. Self-defense. Okay, cool. So you would feel comfortable putting your, bro, I know we don't talk about school with a kid who has a fucking knife in school. Bro, y'all are so stupid, bro. If y'all get bullied in school, tell your teachers or tell your parents. Don't fucking try to kill somebody, bro. Please don't kill anybody. Death is very bad. It's crazy I have to even speak on it. A school with a kid who has a fucking knife in school.
What bothers me with Aiden is he speaks with so much privilege and he doesn't even realize it. Of course, you would think you could just tell a teacher or a coach that you're being bullied. Imagine somebody like a Carmelo going to a teacher or a coach and telling people that he's being bullied. They would laugh in his face. You have to understand, when you look a certain way, people take it another way. So it'd be different if Austin went and said that he was being bullied by Carmelo. But if Carmelo said and went and he said he was being bullied by Austin, I don't think they would have the same reaction. And that's what he doesn't understand. I don't think the stabbing was right. I don't think he should have did it. Because guess what? He wouldn't have been under all this legal turmoil. But guess what? It happened. But to sit there and laugh and key and act as if this is the first person that has gotten away with, and he hasn't even been prosecuted yet. So let's start there. All he did was, all that has happened was his bond got lowered and he was released early. Not released early, but his bond got lowered and he bonded out. That's all that happened. So he's not even prosecuted yet. But you've had people that literally have been prosecuted and have walked free like a Zimmerman and are still living to this day eating bonbons like your bitch ass, sitting on a chair with his fat ass, but it's okay. This is why we got to stop letting these people in our culture. Like, it's like ridiculous. I cannot stand when I see it. It aggravates the living shit out of me. I feel like they're using us. They use us to get the following. They use us to get the sauce. They use us to get the culture. They use us to get the vibes. And without us and our coins and our viewership, they wouldn't be shit. And that's for half of them niggas on Twitch. Neon, Aiden, half of them niggas. They wouldn't be shit. Well, let me not call them niggas because they not. But half of them users, they wouldn't be shit. They wouldn't be shit. And that's the real. I'm just saying, okay? Let me know what y'all think down below about that situation, because I know it is like a trending topic that is really going on. So let me know what y'all think. And y'all, Aiden Rick Ross, he's been trash. Well, he's been trash since he interviewed Trump, but that's my opinion. And then let's talk about this FSU shooting. Now, once this broke, what's so crazy? I got a call from Tallahassee, some random number, and then I'm like, I didn't pick it up, of course, and I get a voicemail, and it's like an alert thing. So I'm like, what the? So I turned on the news, and then I saw what was going on. What bothers me about this FSU shooting is how the media is covering it. And the media does this a lot. Why are we doing a press conference and 2 people have been alive, and hundreds of kids now are traumatized, and we're talking about how good of a person his mom was. I don't give a fuck. Hello? Like, what the fuck? Like, when I saw that, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Had he looked a certain way, we would not be talking about how good of a lieutenant that his mom was. Who gives a fuck? Now, I do not feel like the mom should get 100% of the blame for what her son did. At the end of the day, you can still raise your kids and they do certain things that you do not want them to do. Okay? So she should not get 100% of the blame. But the fact that she is an officer that protects kids and knows that her son has issues and was not able to keep her, gun that she used away from him and him not get access to it, I do feel like she deserves some sort of responsibility for that. This isn't some random parent who just had a gun stored away in the house and the son found it. You are a deputy. So you should know better than to store your, weapons of violence somewhere to where he's not able to access it. And that's where she's at fault. But the way the media is covering it is really pissing me off because it's like they're focusing on the mom so much and how great of a person and this and that. And although I get that, that is not the point. You done had 2 people that are unalive, that were grown as hell. One, I believe, had kids. Why are we glorifying how great of a deputy the mom was and how long of time that she served for Florida? Who gives a fuck? Can we talk about how horrible of a person he is and what he did? Literally, one of the witnesses talked about how he was smiling doing it. And also, another witness that was there, that was in a group with him in a club at the school, said that he got kicked out of the club because he was saying anti-black and extremist rhetorics. Once I heard that, I said, of course. But you don't talk about that though, Aiden, right? You don't talk about that. You talk about that. But I was thinking that, oh my God, I'm not like downing his death because he shouldn't have died. But if you're going to be somebody who is of the culture, talk about everything. Don't just throw little shots here and there and support and say what you want to say and then still want to, piggyback on us blacks. Let's just be fair with that. Okay? So once I heard that and the witness on the news said that, mind you, he was a student there, I wasn't shocked at all. It all lines up. They all have the same mindset. The moment they feel as if their rhetorics are not being heard, they get angry at the world. He also, of course, I believe has said that he also had some mental health issues as well, which isn't surprising. But the media's coverage of him and his mom has really irritated me because it's just not fair how we're painting her to be this golden figure to Florida, and then her son did something like this. It's like ridiculous. But this is how the media does when you look a certain way. Especially when you're down here. It's like crazy to watch it go down. Even the police officer, he says at the press conference, he's like, of course it's good to mention it because now we know where he got one of the weapons from. But, let's skip over that point. Let's not keep going back to, she's great and this. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Okay? This witness that was telling the story, she was a blonde girl that was on the news, and she was telling her account of what she saw. You could see her, like, mind you, they're interviewing these kids like right after it happened, like on the street, like hours after. They traumatized as fuck. They probably gonna need years of fucking therapy because first you gonna feel like you was in fucking Iraq, bullets being thrown everywhere. Nobody's used to that environment. Not everybody's used to that environment. Everybody didn't grow up in the fucking hood. So it's like now these little kids gonna have to basically get all these years of therapy, but this media is talking about how great of a person she was. Like, make it make fucking sense. I remember when the shooting happened in Florida in 2018, the amount of like grace I feel like he was given to me was like insane to me. because it's as if like they blamed him, don't get me wrong, but it's like they didn't talk about how evil the act was enough for me. They just did not. And the way that Carmelo has been talked about on social media is like disgusting. It really is. Okay? Let me know what you guys think down below about these two topics. How do you feel like the media is portraying these two acts of violence and everything? Let me know what y'all think down below. And we're out, babies.
No personal thing.